Second talk is from Aaron from Gander Brew Co. About your journey to professional brewing.
Yes.
Yes. There is a presentation. I'm going to load it.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to click.
Okay, wonderful. There is a video in there as well. Okay. Fantastic. Can I start early? Is that allowed? Hello guys, thank you. Oh, a microphone. I'll have to be careful with this because I like to throw my arms about, so I'll be very careful. Thank you for introducing me. I am Aaron, I'll do that again, and I am part of Gander Brewing Company. Should have a presentation on in a minute. I am actually one of 3 brothers, and they're hiding in the back over there. There's my brother Lee on the side who does all of our brewing, and then Jack, who is there, who is jack of all trades. He does bits and pieces for us. And then we have Chris, who's our sort of lifelong friend really, who will be walking around with a camera and stuff today. He does our video editing and that sort of thing as well. So this is our logo, this is us, Gander Brewing Company. We are brand new, we're a little bit different, in fact probably quite a lot different. If you could click the next slide for us, you'll probably see why. Or maybe not. So there we are, so that is actually our brewery there. We have a set in our brewery because we live stream all of our brewing. So every Sunday at 12 o'clock, when we're brewing our beer, we're live. You can come and join us and watch exactly what we're doing. And then this is where we talk really and play some games, and then the brewery is behind that. So we are very different. And I could probably talk about what makes us different for a long time, but it's probably easier just to show you because we do video a lot of our stuff. So if that's ready, go for it. Hello and welcome to Gander Brewing, the only place you can watch it and taste it. I'm Aaron.
I am Lee.
And I'm Jack.
Dirt under your nails, your trains coming late. You ain't slept for days, sleeping out of the gate. Hot sauce in your coffee, cigarettes in the bath. And if you smile, baby, you might even laugh. Be nice. Teacher passed the exam, doctor passed the test. Still flushed as a fire, baby. You've been dying like the rest, and it ain't even worth it. Oh, baby, you work it. I wanna get in your mind. Wouldn't that be nice? It would not be nice. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you very much for that, guys. I hope you like the video and that gives you an idea as to what we do at the moment. If you don't like the video, speak to Chris. But yes, we are about watch it and taste it. So what we do is show all of our beers, how we make it, and then the idea is you can taste it, you can order it from our website, sort of thing. So yes, next slide please. Thank you. So at the top there you can see we're doing a talk on Going Pro, and I'm glad that says going because we're probably right in the midst of it. We've been selling beer for perhaps 4 weeks, so we are very much going there. Hopefully we'll be back next year and we can do a talk on Gone Pro, but that'll be for next year. What I'm going to do actually is show you how we got to where we are. So I've sort of showed you what we're doing. I'll show you when we started in August how we got to where we were, and then I'll show you, and then I'll talk about what we're going to do next time. Because we live stream, you'll actually be able to follow everything that we do. So come and have a chat with us, see how we're getting on as we head on our journey, basically. Now, the guys made me promise not to talk about too many things like alcohol wholesalers registration scheme, licenses, excise notice 226. But if there's anybody who is thinking of going pro and you want to know the nuts and bolts of how you do it, how you do your accounting, VAT registration, any of those things that you want to know, then come and speak to me afterwards or ask me in the Q&A and we'll let you know. And the information that we'll give you will be pretty current because we've just done it. Okay, so yeah. That shot there is our logo, and Lee made that. Thank you very much for that, Lee. He did that on Inkscape. There you can see just a few iterations of how we got to there. And really our story started when Lee was working in a commercial brewery. Went to visit, and in the car on the way home we decided, probably naively, we could do a better job than this. Easy it is. What's the brewery? A Lake House Brewery in Malvern. So yeah. So yeah, not that they do a bad job. It's just yeah. Like I said, naively we thought this will be nice and easy, and there is lots of challenges which we're going through. At the moment, however, if we move on to the next slide, there's a picture of a shed. Don't know how that got in there. No, that is actually my dad's shed. Sorry. We do need to go back to that. You go back to that. That's a picture of my dad's shed. And like perhaps many homebrewers, we considered doing it in a domestic location. Now, much to my dad's dismay, we didn't set the brewery up in a shed. We were going to demolish that, and we had plans and everything drawn up to put our set and our brewery in the back garden. Now, depending on how you want to sell your beer, there's certain licenses and things that you need to, and I promised I wouldn't go into that, I promised my brothers. But if you do want to know if you can do it at home, then I can probably give you a steer in the right direction, or at least tell you who to contact if you want to do that, because depending on whether you're selling directly to a customer or whether you're selling to a business, you need different types of licenses. Might be able to save you some time. I wish there was somebody who had told me where to look, because that would have saved us a lot of time. But we didn't do that. We went into, so we're now into probably August when we thought of things. We then went to September, and then November time we're looking for a place, thinking about our dad's. December sort of time, decided this wasn't going to work, and then we were looking for a place then. And then the next slide is our unit. It looks a lot better than it did actually there, and Lee is doing some painting there, which looks like he's done all the painting, but I spent 2 days there and he spent about 5 minutes in front of the camera making it look like he'd done all the painting. So yeah, that was a little bit of a lie. He did spend more time on that. But yeah, we got in there, we got our premises, we got our license, and then if we move on to the next slide. This will be just a slide of us setting up here. There's us with our cameras and lights, which we've got out today, building our stand for the Grainfather equipment. And the next slide. So this, you can see, this is my notebook actually. I've got a notebook with all these sorts of drawings that look scientific but really aren't. So I drew this, and then we bought the kit and built that, and that is now in our brewery, and we show that every weekend. So I thought you might want to see that. Next one is another drawing, I think. This is in my notebook as well. And basically, because we live stream on Twitch, which is predominantly a gaming platform, we may live stream out to some other platforms as well, but there is a gaming side of things. And while we're brewing, we tend to have a bit of a chat and a podcast. Actually, if we move on to the next slide, probably see the progression of this. Jack and I spent about 3 hours. These are little pieces of string here, and they're the exact length of the cables of these various bits and pieces. And we use blue tack to tape them to the wall. And this is going somewhere. The next slide, you can see there it is. That's our set, and that's what we built for there. So, as I alluded to just a second ago, and actually I do need to say some thank yous to, in our video, you probably saw the malt miller there, we did do a filming day there, but also we've had a few people on. Probably the best thing about doing things the way that we've done it in having people on is that breweries tend to build a community around them. People like to come in and spend time in them, and we've had some really good local talent in. In that video we had Jack from the Jericho Racks, who are a band from Worcester. They came in, they set a time on our Mario Kart, we commissioned a beer for them. Then we had an illustrator, Josh Neal, who was on. It was a picture of the Mario that was there. We've also had the Worcester baseball team in, the Worcester Sorcerers. So they've been in. So we're really enjoying that actually. That's fantastic. Next slide please, because I forgot where I'm going. Here we go. So bottles, this is what our bottles are like. So you might have seen in our video, we do wrap these by hand and we wax them by hand as well. And apologies we haven't got any samples today. That's probably the next thing which we need to do is to match the demand with our supply. Now obviously we're using Grainfather at the moment. We have 9 different vintages, so we brew 9 different beers in very small batches that you can see online. So yeah, we now need some bigger equipment, and there's a few different ways that we can do that basically. On the next slide we have some sort of the next step up from our equipment. It'd be lovely if we could get that, especially if it was first and we can show it first. If there's anybody who does want to sponsor us with some equipment, then that would be fantastic. Or if there's anybody with us, you know, a spare brewery knocking around, that would be good. We'll come along with our cameras and lights and we'll get in there. But in all seriousness, you can actually cuckoo brew, or you can contract brew, and that would be a good way for us, initially without the equipment, but with the brand, to be able to start producing more beer to meet our demands. We've actually got more of it. So yeah. Next slide, please. Thank you. Twitch, that's where, this is the platform. Does anybody know Twitch in this room? Yes, we've got some people who know Twitch. So there's a live streaming platform, obviously, predominantly games, but we're always in the talk shows and podcasts. We're going into YouTube as well, so you can catch us on YouTube, and if you want to watch us that way. www.twitch.tv/Gander Brew. We're not live this Sunday because we'll be recovering from tomorrow night, because we might have a bit of a celebration at the end of tomorrow. But we will be, we're going to try and stream over the next couple of days actually, so please come in and see us. I'll go on to that in just a second. But we are streaming the week, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. Big important stream for us. We're going to give some stuff away on that stream, which is good. Some people have donated some stuff for us, that's good. Awesome. Next slide, please. So we're back to our studio. We have a studio. Guys from Brew Con have allowed us to have, and Northern Monk. We're in the shed, in the rain at the moment, but hopefully it clears up later. If you are part of the community brew and you brought a beer here, or if you have anything that you want to talk about, anything that you want to sell, or you have an interesting story with beer, just come and see us, sit down, we'll make you really comfortable, you'll forget the camera's there, and yeah, talk to us, because our viewers will love to see that. Yes. We haven't brought Mario Kart, no. It went on there. But you are more than welcome to come and visit us. Actually, the Mario Kart thing is going really well. You can't see it on this, but we have a leaderboard. There is a car program which does a similar sort of thing. Not N64, the new one on Switch, which was on the Wii U. But all of our guests come on, they set a time, and they try and get on the leaderboard. And what is interesting, actually, is they sit there, and I've done it because Jack set me a challenge. You're sat there thinking this is just a game, and the lights are on, you're shivering and you're shaking, and you take back the controllers afterwards, and they're dripping with sweat. So people get really into it. Yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, I think, is there another slide? I can't remember now. No, it's the end. So hopefully I'm good for time.
Yeah, good.
Nice. Is there any questions? Anyone got any questions?
It's not an N64.
It's not an N64. We do have an N64 in the brewery. So, say again? No, that's new to be. I'll have to see how much work went into that wall. I'll have to, yeah. Yes.
So, you plan your recipes, do it in a brew. Do you also plan your video streams on what you're going to show and what you're going to play and all sorts of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably, I think we sat down and we decided the craft beer market at the moment is very saturated. There's lots of people doing it, and as you can see, there's people doing it really well as well. So we're doing something slightly different, and we've had a steep learning curve in sitting down and having a production schedule. And like, what tends to happen is you plan something and you think, oh yeah, that's going to take half an hour, and it takes 5 minutes. And then something that you think is going to take 5 minutes ends up taking 40 minutes. So yeah, we're adjusting on the fly. And if you look back at some of the quality of some of our older streams, we're definitely getting better at presenting and managing to stick to times and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's been like key for us in terms of learning that. And I think originally we thought, well, we're just, a brew day is, a lot of the time is waiting around for things to get up to temperature, that sort of thing. We thought, we've got loads of time to run a podcast and a channel at the same time. It's Sarah knows because she does it. There's a lot of work with actually talking to the camera, talking to what's going on, keeping it fresh, having new ideas, that sort of thing. But we really enjoyed it. We love it when people come on, they talk to us. We did a community brew where we had a vote on Facebook between a imperial stout, I've forgotten. It's the pressure of being up here, and also a mango IPA, and resounding win was the mango IPA. And then you could probably see Lee actually chopped the mango, and then he put it in a vacuum pack, which we have, and then we sous vide it, which I think just means put it in water at a certain temperature. That's right, isn't it? Yes. So that's it. Just to activate the appropriate enzymes that we wanted, cook it, pasteurize it to a certain level. So yeah, we get to do exciting things with our recipes, really, rather than brewing the same beer over and over. We've now got.
How many beers have you done?
We've got 9 different types, all listed by vintages. Jack's out and out 12 yet, because we've got 3 ready to come out of fermenters into bottles, and then we sit. I mean, we've actually got that at the stand. We'll show you how we wrap our bottles. It takes a while to wrap. So the next thing we do, when we're doing 5,000, they might not be hand wrapped. We might have to go for screen printing.
So I see you've got QR code.
We have got QR
What does
code.
that do?
Yes, the QR code. We purposely left our bottles very blank, so you can see what the style is on the side there and what's gone into it, but it's purposely blank so that it makes you have a look at the QR code, and that QR code will take you to the video of where it was made. Yeah, thanks for that question. I should have. These guys should have asked me. Yeah, he's got it written down. What have you got in there? Yes.
What's a QR code?
Yeah.
QR code, one of those. Oh, okay. You got me.
Do you do this to make a living, or do you do it to plug your bottom?
That's a very good question. I guess to make a living is what we're aiming for. It was a hobby. Is it still a hobby? It's sort of in the middle ground now. We are now getting to the stage where we love doing it, but it's a labour of love, but also, yeah, we need to make some money from it.
That's where you're going to have to go to make a decent amount of money.
Yes, that's the key question. I think 5,000 bottles is a minimum that we can make in one particular, so we're going to have to choose around 3. I'm looking at Lee there because he might go, no, but yes, we'll be looking at a core range of 3 beers. Like I said, we are right in the midst of it, so come and watch what we're doing and follow us along. I mean, one of the things that I was talking to somebody upstairs, actually, some of the major breweries that we like, I wish that they had that story that we can watch, so hopefully we'll have that story, because we've literally been filming from the very outset. So yeah.
Do you have the supply chain?
Supply chain, we use a malt miller at the moment, don't we? We use malt miller for everything at the moment, because we can get in there, we can
It's just
scramble.
interesting at the moment because everyone wants to do a different beer every time.
Yes.
And everything's different, and it's a bizarre concept really, because in some aspects I get it, but at the same time you almost feel like you're gambling on every beer.
Yeah.
And you feel like actually it'd be nice to have a consistent beer.
I think what we are doing from there, and Lee tells me this a lot, we have sort of 2 things really. The channel is nice to have something fresh. It's nice to talk about the origins of a table saison or an imperial stout, and then to add mango because the community decided they wanted that. But then for the larger scale brews, we'll choose our favourite or the favourite ones from that, and we'll keep making that consistently.
And you'll choose it rather than demand?
Well, I guess one and the same thing really. The American Pale Ale is the one that's sold most popularly at the moment, so that's the first one we're earmarked to sell. And then yeah, if we do listen to people intently. Everybody who comes onto the channel, we listen to what they say. If they say they want it, then that's what's going to guide us. So yeah, a bit of both really, but I guess mainly led by what people say. Yes.
What's the smallest batch sizes that you can brew that you can actually?
The smallest or the largest?
That you can make a profit from. It's obviously the margins can brew as we go up.
Yeah, I mean, this is where professional is, where we're going pro, because we aren't paying ourselves at the moment. We all have, I have a full-time job, so does Jack, so does Chris. Lee was working in a brewery and has a part-time job and is now brewing as well. So at the moment we are not paying any wages. So to cover our overheads only, we need to brew around 7 times a month and sell all of our beer to just cover overheads. That's our first goal really. And once we're there, we're still working all hours that we get, and we're not paying wages, but at least we're safe and we're not losing money. And then from there, those figures which you're talking about, we're about to have those conversations. So I'll be honest with you and say, don't know the actual minimum number yet, because we've got to go and get all of those prices. So yeah. Any other questions? No.
Good.
I rifled through my time, didn't I?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Aaron, and thank you, Gander Brew Co.